Hello and welcome to Operation Savannah. For those of you that don't know, this is South Africa's military incursion. That's the name they want to use into Angola. Now, we're of course targeting the communist MPLA government here. They are officially the government of Angola at the time, but what we're going to try to do is, of course, destabilize that, finish that off, and make sure that they don't grab any sort of power. As you can see, this is one of the largest battles we've ever done in the game. It's absolutely humongous. And as for our attack vehicles, we're mostly got these rattles, rattels. A whole lot of rattels here. I've heard it said both ways, to be honest, so I'm not going to even argue about it. But just a tremendous amount of them. And over here under Maring, what have we got? I believe we've actually got some wonderful little tanks. Let's see. And those are going to be just MK1A tanks. Pretty standard, but quite beautiful. I can't wait to get into the battle with this. I think we're just going to pretty much start like this. We've got plenty of infantry, of course, and a lot of them seem to be UNITA troops as well as some South African troops. Over here, we've also got a bunch of UNITA and South African reinforcements. And yeah, just a straight-up invasion, I think. Let's grab everybody we can. We'll grab Derby Lewis and Bussanyard's group, and I'm going to put them over here where we actually have some units dug in. I'd like to get them close by. If not, that'll do. So we'll do something like this, and I want these guys kind of on the move. Now, mind you, not the entire group on the move. Right now, I just want to take this group, Detour and Jinwala's group, and attack, and I want to see with the guys that are dug in, kind of what's going to happen, what the MPLA units are going to do. This is, of course, just day one of the invasion, the very beginning of the invasion, so hopefully everything is going to go just fine. You'll see, of course, those guys will take up some defensive positions here, entrenched positions, I should say. So we're just going to let them keep their eyes on the enemy. If anything happens, so be it. But in the meantime, the only order I'm going to give are to Jinwala and Detour's unit. The rest of our army is going to stay put. As always, guys, we'll return when the action begins. Let's hope that Operation Savannah is a success. Heavy bombardment on Kanoka there, folks, and that's actually our planes calling in the bombardment, or I should say our spotters calling in the bombardment on that town there. That's, of course, one of the border towns for the MPLA, and we absolutely want to try and capture that area quickly. So I'm actually doing a bit of a side mission here with Jinwala and a few others. Look at those strikes. Just going to go ahead and head in that general direction. I see a few different locations where the enemy could be held out, but that tank is always bad news. Now, this is where we have the entrenched position, so I'm definitely going to hold for now, hope for the best. Let's see what happens. Yep, we've got some RPGs. Looking nice. Back up a bit and just see what's going on. Still some consecutive hits on that area there. You know, I think it's time. We're going to grab Savimbi, Selector, Madden, Dengies, all these guys, and let's charge right into Kanoka. We'll make it a full-on assault. Keep a dense line here as we approach and hope for the best. Can't wait to get these tanks in. But usually the MPLA is pretty well, or in a pretty good defense position, so let's see if that's the same here. So far at Kanoka, they seem fairly weak. The invasion is going on without a hitch. There we go. And of course, the MPLA are using mainly Soviet tanks, if not entirely Soviet tanks. Although our UNITA allies are also using a lot of Soviet technology here. Looks like we already lost a vehicle back there. Some sort of APC, and look at that, contact with enemy APCs. This is on the start of our advance, of course, so let's take it seriously, and let's definitely seek a target there. I see another one back there as well, a tank potentially. And look at that, Katyusha rockets targeting our MPLA allies here. They're, of course, moving forward as quickly as can be. Oh, look at that. Yeah, they are trying to stay put as much as possible. Actually, those are South Africans. So, South African troops that are also maybe part of another division, something like that. Hendrik Andrade, we've got a lot of Warthogs here that could be useful. But I'm actually going to stay put right here with the Warthogs. Especially with Andrade. Just try to provide some fire support. Honestly, I don't think they're the best vehicles in the world. There we go. Nice. Well done, boys. See, immediately destroyed that damn vehicle. That's what I'm looking for. Just get out and take cover. I think with the exception of Mabinjo, which we will move forward and try to use that vehicle to destroy them. We'll do the same with Kairos unit over here. We're going to hit that road location where I'm spotting a lot of enemy activity. And of course, that is in the direction of our advance, so we want to be extra careful. Still advancing on Pinoca, guys. Really not much going on over there. We're trying to get out in the open here against the enemy. Definitely see some smoke out there. I can't tell if it's a true hit or not. I'm actually switching through firing types, and that's how you can see how many of the enemy are out there. There are just so many. We can, of course, spot them from here, which is pretty amazing. Keep it going, boys. Keep it going. And here we go, guys. There's that advance I'm talking about. We're doing a pretty good job. Lots of anti-tank guided missiles headed towards the enemy, but we missed. And I wonder if it's because of all the damn trees. Look at this push. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I mean, this is now a true invasion, guys. We're not messing around anymore. Look at that. Looks like Kanoka has become kind of second place to everything else. We got an airstrike happening over there, trying to knock the enemy out. A bunch of our allies moving in this area, as well as our troops. And we are just pushing towards the enemy. Full-out blitzkrieg. No other word for this. Keep it up, boys. Keep it up. Keep it up. Unfortunately, not hitting the enemy where we should really be hitting them, right there, directly ahead of us. Let's focus. That's it, boys. Those tanks are doing just fine. That's the terrifying part. I mean, the artillery strikes are not doing much, and it looks like they are firing artillery right back at us. And look, oh my goodness, look at these trench positions, guys. I mean, they were waiting for us. Get them, boys. Light them up. Look at those MPLA trenches. We can't stop here. We cannot stop here, folks. But man, it's amazing that a whole group of our vehicles came up right on top of them. We've got some infantry arriving as well, but we need them to arrive right now. Let's have Dengiz just stop right there. Hopefully he can provide some fire support quickly. It looks like an entire army of MPLA troops. We definitely got at least 2 of the vehicles. We've got to just keep on firing now. Set this guy up over here. Actually, you know what? I'll set him up right there. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Just fire, boys. Just fire. We're going to stop right there, and look at that. They still have anti-tank guided missiles. We've still got some guys trying to push through. I'm going to try to actually fall back with some of them, or reverse with some of them, and with some of them we'll just continue on through. What we need to do is to get some infantry over here stat, like, really, really quickly. Wonder if Dengues, if these guys have infantry. Nope, can't unload. No infantry on board. So yeah, 2 vehicles. I can handle that. I can handle 2 vehicles. It's just a very awkward position, to say the least. And there's the infantry. Savimbi's units are arriving. We need them killing that enemy, like, now. Like, we need them to get here immediately. Here we go. That's it, son. Look at that. Looks like they're popping smoke to try and save themselves. See, I didn't think Kanoko was going to have anything at all, but no, they definitely do. And I'm going to unload these 2 vehicles over here, the Rattles. Just immediately unload them, because I know there are enemies just everywhere. It's essentially, you know, a entrenched position. You know, now that I'm looking at it, we might as well take Romau, Van Dunham, all these guys in Angola, just grab the lot, really, and head into this area right here, this sort of forested area. I'm going to make it a fast move, so they'll be moving in columns, but I don't expect any contact back there. Plus, we're moving forward with a bunch of armor, tanks, etc. Hey, let's look the right way, please, tanks. Here we go. And send these tanks over here as well. It's so hard to see enemy armor with all these bushes and trees in the way. So I'm hoping that at the very least we can get rid of that huge group of infantry units. Help out our army that way. I want to reverse with this guy. Let's reverse a bit. Same with Dengues. I just kind of want him to hold here. No need to move forward with these guys at all. Get 'em, boys. Man, our guys are crazy, just rolling on through. And actually, we're pushing them out of the area sufficiently to get some hits on them. But obviously, not all of our guys have been as lucky. That actually is not... I thought that was ours. That's not our APC. That one is. Right there. So we have kind of overrun that trench from what I can see. Let's head over here. That attack on the tanks, of course. Looks like we managed to take out one of them at least, and looks like the allies are working on number 2 right there. It's not even looking at us, so that is not a threat. Tank eliminated for sure. Yeah, I think most of the fight is over here, where, of course, we got ambushed. So there we go, Savimbi's infantry just now arriving on scene. These are, for the most part, UNITA troops. Let's see what they can do. He's going to stay in the bush. I'd rather he just kind of keep focused this way. But I'm already seeing a ton of bodies there. Just look at that. Not sure. Maybe we just drove over the enemy. A lot of anti-tank weapons destroyed there as well. So I say we continue the push this way. Although, look at that. Yep, still plenty of enemies to focus on. And that's why the tanks were focusing over here. It looks like they spotted armor. Already took out one bit of armor right there. And let's see if we can't take out those armor pieces right there. Quite a bit more valuable than any of the infantry in the area. Gonna keep the football jokes to a minimum on this one. Alright, with Detroit, I'm just gonna go ahead and full-on attack forward to all the guys hiding in the bush here. Plenty of units hiding in the bush. Come on, boys. We need you to get your wits about you. These are all, as you can see, South African units. Not much morale on these guys. Oh my gosh. Airstrike, perhaps? Oh, this is going to be infantry against tanks. My goodness. Here we go. Full-on attack. I'm hoping the trees are really going to help to cover our advance. And hopefully these tanks can put a dent in the enemy's line. That's one enemy tank already down. Come on, man. Come on. Get a visual, please. Nice shot. That could be a kill. Got a shot as well. Another hit there. Man, I hope it's a kill. Unfortunately, this tank was destroyed. I'd love to get at least one of their tanks. I know we got that one right there, but what about this one? And sure enough, another enemy trench right there. Oh boy. I can't look away. Can't look away. Man, that has to be a kill. Yep. The enemy absolutely toasted those tanks. We did get that one over there. We could certainly try to get the rest. Now, where are those airstrikes? Those are our birds. I hope they're dropping rounds right there. There's another tank. Looks like our guy already spotted it, folks. Man, what an exciting invasion. I just have not had a battle in this era this crazy. You better be able to move, Detroit. Oh, wow. That's where they're dropping bombs. It's where our allies are advancing. Unbelievable. Really awesome. Got some South African air power there. Good to see it. And there we go, back to our advance, facing so much ahead of us here. Trenches, tanks, but we'll make it happen. We'll push through. That's a hit. That is definitely a hit. Took an absolutely nasty one there. I think it's going to come down to the infantry. So far, the armor has not managed to hack it. Let's see if the infantry can change the score. And let's just take a look at the map there. Grab the rest of these units and go straight for the enemy there. But this is the area I'm really focused on. I want to overrun these guys. It's an entire village, as you can see. There we go. Our boys are right there in the village. It's like white phosphorus. So many tanks right there in the open. Let's take a risk. Let's see if we can't get some flanking shots with RPGs, etc. Sure, there are some tanks in this group as well. Where an ATGM could come in very handy. Yep, the trusty Katyushas. Look at that, man. Man. Unbelievable. There we go. Massive grouping of men. This is our chance. Absolutely, this is our chance. We're going to have to try and target that group right there with everything we've got left. Because they've got plenty of air support of their own. And they are using it. Come on, I know some of these guys have RPGs. Got some friendly air support there as well. Hopefully it can help us. Because God knows we need the help. So I'm hoping, just like a vice grip here, we can grab everybody we've got and go for a full-on attack right there on those tanks. Oh, man! Look at that push, though. If not for the damn tanks, it would be fabulous. Gotta try to make that work. We need an RPG or something. Just saw a hit on the tank there. At least we're getting some hits on it. But we need somebody with an RPG to hit that thing. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. There we go. Another hit. And look at that, guys. Full-on attack on the village. This is what I'm talking about. Now we've got everybody going for it. It looks like all the enemy armor is wiped out. Just down to the final attack here. Fire at will. I think the invasion is going as planned. We definitely had a rough spot there with the tanks. But now, this is exactly what we want at the end here. Pushing heavily on that Ville. I'd like to get Dutour out of here. Grab the rest of these lads and right onto the Ville. Just make sure that the rest of the attack is approaching. And it's only Darby Lewis and Kasoma who kind of stuck back a bit. That's alright, though. We can grab them now. And actually, I just want them to kind of take position over here by where Miting is. The rest of the attack, of course, can continue. Oh my goodness, look at that additional bombing run right there. Can already see some vehicle fires. They absolutely have some vehicles in the village still. And there we go. One of our guys got him with some sort of shoulder-guided missile. Completely blew that BMP to smithereens. And now it's simply wrapping up the rest of the guys in the town. In fact, the enemy is going for a retreat. Look at that, folks. So, of course, I'll continue the push with our existing manpower. But most of our guys are taking cover wisely. Except for Kairis, Nanda, Andrade, all the guys that charged across here. Extremely brave. Cuban soldiers right there. You can tell by the uniforms. So they absolutely had some Cuban spotters over here, training their men, things of that nature. So let's try and hit as many of the retreating enemy as possible. But I'd like to say that we have pretty much turned that village to dust. There's not much left there. Some of our armor still moving in. Plenty of tanks left. We really didn't need every single one of them for the battle, or in this case, BMPs. But it's good to see them here. In fact, we could send them right in there if we'd like. Might as well get additional fire support here. Keep it up, keep it up. Look at all those officer ranks right there. And we've got an entire firing line right here, ready to go. Yep, these are South African troops. Look at that. We've got a whole mix of UNITA, South African troops, etc. And we're still hitting the village. Talk about vengeance for that first ambush, huh, guys? If you've gotten this far in the video, I just want you to type vengeance down below. Keep up that fire, boys. Nice, they are headed into the bush. That's where we need them. Enemy tank right there. Unfortunately, the village is completely destroyed, but I would say that that is an overwhelming victory. I am wondering if we took any prisoners. I do see the take prisoners. Actually, objective of Allied forces has changed. Maybe no prisoners. I mean, the enemy is pretty dead set on holding on to their own territory, of course. This is still Angola, and we are attacking. In fact, I think it was just called a military operation. It wasn't called a war. It reminds you of something, of course. So, we're just going to continue and try and wipe out as many as we can here before the end of the battle. But man, what an impressive initial invasion here. Let's take a look at the map, as a matter of fact, just to see. And yeah, that was our objective, attacking on two different sides, also from the southeast, or southwest, rather. And we completely overran the enemy, which is to be expected, I think. Angola does have plenty of tanks, things like that. But in a situation like this, I think we just overwhelmed them. If you enjoy these kind of battles and you want to see some more of them, then absolutely let me know in the comments down below. There are certainly battles where Angola is much better positioned, deeper in the country, with some serious tank defenses, etc. And they really put up an amazing fight. I think in this situation, South Africa and UNITA did an incredible job. There's that warthog. Really not a fan of that vehicle. Alright, looks like we're just now reaching the outskirts of the village, and look at that, another destroyed enemy vehicle, although we gotta be careful with the white phosphorus being dropped. Could be a lot of friendly fire here. Look at all of those trenches. Man. Would not have expected that. Well, not in the town, anyway. But it looks like before leaving, they still have plenty of men here. And again, like I said, we're chasing them off. Good shot. Another good shot. Plenty of artillery and mortar support here. Thanks to South Africa's wonderful artillery support. That's hard to say with that accent. Looks like he's stopped. Is he destroyed? I'm not sure. There's also a tank out there. But actually, let's focus exclusively on that vehicle. Fire! There we go. Good shot. Keep it up, boys. We're definitely getting hits on the guy. And all the units surrounding him. Good shot. Should have just stayed there, man. Anti-tank guided missile right through the side. You can actually see the penetrating hit there. That's a complete kill. Anytime I say leave a comment, those are the exact kind of moments I would love you guys to comment on. And be like, hey man, awesome shot at, and put the time of the shot. Just, it really looks and feels like a true invasion in every sense of the word. If only we could take out that tank as well, that would be perfect. But even taking out the infantry surrounding this area is exciting, to say the least. Alright, guys, there we go. Well, the final tally, 158 killed, 71 on their side. We actually had more killed on our side, or maybe that's, no, killed, sorry. So we killed, and this also makes sense, 78 wounded, missing 111. No, this would definitely be the enemies surrendered. 197 of them killed, or 71 of them killed, 15 of them heavily wounded. Yeah, we took a lot of hits here. 82 heavily wounded. I've got to say, I think a lot of that had to be friendly fire. That was absolutely brutal. But a victory is a victory nonetheless. Taking every single bit of territory there, capturing some of the enemy and overrunning them. That's the, of course, danger of underestimating your enemy. Thank you so much, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.